The hotel receipt in my husband's jacket had my sister's name written on it in his handwriting. They'd been there together 3 days ago while I was visiting our dying mother in the hospital. Let me take you back to how this all started. Marcus and I had what everyone called the perfect marriage. 15 years together, 2 beautiful kids, and a house that looked like it belonged in a magazine. He was the supportive husband who brought me coffee every morning and never forgot our anniversary. My sister Claire? She was my best friend, my maid of honor, the person I called when I needed to cry or celebrate. The 3 of us were inseparable. Sunday dinners, family vacations, shared holidays. Claire was single and always joked that we were her favorite couple. "You two give me hope," she'd say, curling up on our couch during movie nights. When Mom got sick, everything shifted. The cancer was aggressive, and I spent weeks at the hospital 2 hours away. Marcus couldn't always come because of work, but he was so understanding. "Take all the time you need," he'd whisper, kissing my forehead. "I'll handle everything here." Claire stepped up too. She'd drive down to spell me at the hospital, bringing Mom's favorite flowers and staying overnight so I could go home and shower. "We're in this together," she promised, squeezing my hand in that sterile waiting room. But then I started noticing things. Marcus seemed different when I'd call home. Distracted. He'd cut conversations short, claiming work was crazy. When I'd surprise him by coming home for a night, he seemed almost disappointed. Like he wasn't expecting me. And Claire. She started canceling on hospital visits last minute. "Work emergency," she'd text. "Rain check?" But her social media showed her at brunches and shopping trips. Since when did she blow off family for mimosas? The night I found the receipt, Marcus was in the shower. His jacket was thrown over our bedroom chair, and his phone fell out of the pocket. When I picked it up to put it on the nightstand, a folded piece of paper came with it. Fairmont Hotel. Presidential Suite. 2 nights. $847. That was strange. Marcus had been on a business trip to the city last week, but he always stayed at the Marriott. Company policy. And why would he keep a receipt in his jacket instead of submitting it for reimbursement? But then I saw the handwriting at the bottom. In Marcus's neat script, "Claire, room 412, key at front desk." My legs gave out. I sat on our bed, staring at those words until they blurred together. This couldn't be real. This couldn't be happening. Claire. My sister. The woman who'd held my hair back when I had morning sickness with both pregnancies. Who'd helped me pick out my wedding dress. Who'd been living a lie for God knows how long. I checked the date. 3 days ago. I'd been at Mom's bedside while she was barely conscious, and they'd been, what? Playing house in a hotel suite? My phone buzzed. A text from Claire, "How's Mom doing? Thinking of you both, red heart." I wanted to scream. Instead, I took a photo of the receipt and sat there shaking until Marcus came out of the bathroom, towel around his waist, humming like he didn't have a care in the world. "How's Mom?" he asked, kissing my temple. "The same," I managed. "Marcus, can I ask you something?" "Of course, baby." "Where exactly did you stay on your business trip last week?" He didn't even flinch. "The usual place. Marriott downtown. You know how much I hate those corporate hotels." He laughed, running his hands through his wet hair. Why? He was such a good liar. How long had he been this good at lying? Just wondering. The company doesn't mind the expense? They cover it. You know that. He was getting dressed, back to me. "Everything okay?" "Everything's fine." But everything was not fine. That night, while he slept next to me like nothing had happened, I planned my next move. I called the Fairmont the next morning. "Hi, this is going to sound strange, but my husband stayed there last week and I think he left his watch." "Room 412? Under Marcus Thompson?" "Let me check." "Yes, we have a Mr. Thompson and Ms. Thompson checked in for 2 nights." No watch reported, but I can connect you to housekeeping. Ms. Thompson. She'd used my last name. Actually, what name did the female guest register under? Claire Thompson, ma'am. She'd used my name. My married name. While sleeping with my husband. I hung up and immediately called my lawyer. But here's where it gets worse. When I confronted Claire that afternoon, she didn't deny it. She didn't even look ashamed. Sarah, I'm so sorry you found out this way. This way? This way? You're sorry I found out at all. She was sitting in my kitchen, at my table, drinking coffee from the mug I'd bought her last Christmas. The audacity was breathtaking. It just happened, she said quietly. We didn't plan it. When? Sarah. When, Claire? She looked down at her hands. 2 years. 2 years. 24 months of lies. Of family dinners where they'd sit across from each other, making small talk. Of holidays where I'd watched them exchange gifts and thought how lucky I was to have them both. Does Mom know? Claire's face went white. What? No. Of course not. Because she's been asking about you. Wondering why you've been distant lately. I've been making excuses for you while you've been screwing my husband. Sarah, please. I know how this looks. How it looks? It looks like my sister and my husband have been living a double life while I've been caring for our dying mother. That's when she said the thing that broke me completely. He doesn't love you anymore, Sarah. He hasn't for years. We didn't want to hurt you, but maybe this is for the best. I stared at her. This woman who'd been in my wedding, who'd helped name my children, who'd held my hand through miscarriages and celebrations and everything in between. Get out, I whispered. Sarah. Get out of my house. After she left, I called Marcus at work. We need to talk. Tonight. Don't make me wait. When he came home, I was sitting at the kitchen table with the receipt, printed emails from the hotel, and divorce papers my lawyer had rushed through. His face went through every emotion possible in about 3 seconds. Sarah, I can explain. Can you explain why my sister used my name at the hotel? Can you explain 2 years of lying to my face? Can you explain planning romantic getaways while I was watching our mother die? He sat down heavily. For the first time in 15 years, Marcus had nothing to say. I'm done, I told him. Pack your things. You have 24 hours. What about the kids? What about them? You should have thought about them before you decided to destroy their family. Sarah, please. We can work through this. I slid the divorce papers across the table. We are working through this. Sign them. The next morning, I called my mom's nurse and asked her to set up a video call. Mom was weak, but alert. Hi, baby, she whispered through the screen. How are you holding up? I told her everything. All of it. And my dying mother, the woman who'd raised us both, who'd sacrificed everything for Claire and me, looked directly into that camera and said, "That girl is no daughter of mine." Mom passed away 2 weeks later. At the funeral, Claire had the nerve to show up. She sat in the back, crying like she had any right to grieve. During my eulogy, I talked about Mom's strength, her integrity, her belief that family meant something. I looked right at Claire and said, she taught me that some betrayals are unforgivable. That sometimes, walking away is the strongest thing you can do. Claire left before the burial. Marcus signed the papers without a fight. I got the house, majority custody, and a settlement that set us up for life. Turns out, cheating husbands are expensive. 6 months later, I heard through mutual friends that Claire and Marcus had broken up. Apparently, the thrill was gone once it wasn't a secret.